Welcome to Suncoast FYI and our first show of 2023. I'm your host, Nancy O'Neill. Everyone here at the Suncoast News Network wishes you, your family, and your friends a peaceful new year. Thank you. Today I'm joined by Marlene Hauk from Sunshine from Darkness, Nate Jacobs from the West Coast Black Theater Troupe, and Jillian Lewis from the Florida Studio Theater, right here on Suncoast FYI. Sunshine from Darkness is a proponent of mental health research here on the Suncoast. Marlene Hauk, the executive director of Sunshine from Darkness, is here to share with us all of the benefits they provide to those suffering from mental illness.
Hi,
Marlene,
Nancy.
hi. Thank you for being here. Now, let's start a little bit about the background of Sunshine from Darkness, please.
Sure. Lee and Bob Peterson, who were extremely philanthropic in the Sarasota County community and beyond, had a family member that suffered from schizophrenia. For over 15 years, they did an event here in Sarasota called Sunshine from Darkness. And that money that was raised from that event was given to research. That research in the beginning was called NARSAD.
Okay.
But now it's called Brain and Behavior Research Foundation. In 2019, Jeffrey Peterson decided to reignite Sunshine from Darkness by starting the Lee and Bob Peterson Foundation. Sunshine from Darkness is actually a subsidiary of the Lee and Bob Peterson Foundation.
Okay.
His goal is to not only fund research, but to provide local charities, local nonprofits that provide mental health services to help fund them in the community.
Okay. Now, we were talking a little bit earlier. Obviously, there is quite a range from mental health issues that we all are aware of.
Correct.
So what is the goal for the changes that are happening now?
Well, our goal as an organization is to start to promote mental health wellness. We feel it's really important. It will help erase the stigma. Our long-term goal, we're in a strategic plan right now, but our long-term goal is how can we create a bigger impact in the community, help our youth with coping skills, with better understanding their emotions and their mental health.
So Marlene, you have a very special event coming up.
Yes.
On January 13th?
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
It's an Inspiring Hope Dinner, and you have a wonderful speaker. Can you tell us a little bit about
Yes, we have Jennifer Holliday. Jennifer, of course, is a Grammy Award and Tony Award actress and singer. She also suffers from depression. She's going to talk a little bit about how in the beginning of her depression, she was told for over 10 years, yeah, you had a baby. It's just about the baby. It's just about postpartum blues.
Wow.
So essentially, her eventually seeking help after 10 years, which is a long time to go with depression.
Sure.
So she's going to speak to that, but she's also going to perform. So we're
wow.
excited.
Wow. That's awesome.
And part of that fundraising effort for this event, of course, is to benefit two local nonprofits, Teen Court and Harvest House.
Wonderful. And what do they do? Give us a little idea.
Yes, so Teen Court, of course, is a way for youth who have behavioral issues or have starting to enter the court system, and they divert over to Teen Court. This is from age 6, I believe, to 16.
Okay.
And Teen Court then helps them so they don't have to get into the court system. They provide mental health services for free for all of these kids. So from, if I'm not mistaken, they probably deal with about 300 or 400 kids a year. Harvest House, of course, Their goal is to stop the generational trauma that comes from homelessness. Harvest House has a campus, they have homes, they have supportive housing. Now, many of these kids, of course, have been kicked out of their house, especially the young people they deal with. So they too provide case management and mental health services. So one of their goals, of course, is to stop that homelessness. You know, it's a fact that if a family is homeless and then their kids are also homeless,
Sure.
and then they get married, and then there's a huge chance that that's going to happen
Sure.
again.
Sure. So it's breaking the cycle.
Breaking the cycle,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
yeah.
you know, again, it's whether it's you know, it's not just a certain time of the year that people experience depression or
Right.
mental illness.
Right.
Typically through the holidays and the new year, now that we're with us, I think it brings it to the forefront that we should be more aware personally of, you know, struggles, and
Yes.
again, not wait 10 years to go get help.
That's right.
Or
That's
listen
right.
to one person say, you
That's
know,
right.
you know, disregard what you think you're feeling.
I think what's difficult for most people to understand is Florida is 50th in the nation for funding for mental health services and 49th in the nation for access to services. So I don't want people to get fearful about that, because
Right.
there are ways to find help. One of our goals is to provide a resource on our website eventually,
Okay.
where someone can put in specific aspects. You know, I have a child, he's 14, he has behavioral issues, and then it will pull up several therapists that treat children or specific aspects of what their issues might be. So there are ways to get help. Of course, you know, help also costs money.
Yeah.
So these organizations that are providing mental health services in the community for free or for a discounted rate, I say reach out to any organization that provides resources, and definitely we can find you help. I have people
Thank you.
calling me all the time,
Oh, well,
you know.
well, you
So,
have a
yeah.
tough job. So thank you. Okay, your event is on the 13th. There are
Yes.
still tickets available.
There are
Okay.
still tickets available.
All right.
They can go on our website. I believe you have that, sunshinefromdarkness.org. Jennifer Holliday will perform. I'm excited about that.
Oh.
And it's going to be a fun night.
Awesome.
West Coast Black Theater Troupe will also be performing.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So yeah.
So
it's
Nate
gonna
was
be-
just here, so that
He was.
a chance to see him. Great. Thank you so much, and thank you for all you do for everyone.
You're very welcome.
Coming up, Nate Jacobs from the West Coast Black Theater Troupe, so please stay tuned. For just over 23 years, the West Coast Black Theater Troupe has been an important staple of the Suncoast theatrical community. And here with me now to discuss their ongoing production of Flying West is the founder and artistic director of the West Coast Black Theater Troupe, Nate Jacobs. And it's so good to see you.
Glad to be back. Glad to be back. Thanks
Happy,
for always
happy
thinking of us.
2023.
I know, 2023.
Yes.
We're already
Yeah.
in.
We're going to be hopeful. This
Yes.
is going to be a good one.
This is going to be a good one.
This one's going to be a good one.
Like
Okay.
you said earlier, we need a relief.
Yes, very positive thoughts on that. So, a lot of exciting things going on.
Yeah.
You're in the middle of the season, and you've
Middle
got
of
a
the season.
new show opening.
Yes, Flying West. I have a guest director. He's one of our artistic associates, Chuck Smith. He's from Goodman Theater in Chicago. And he comes in to direct a show with us. But Flying West is a powerful story with some comedies thrown in. Pearl Cledge is the playwright. And I've been hearing about this play for many, many years of my experience in theater. and so very happy to bring this story to the stage about it's in the 1800s and talk about right after slavery where African Americans were finding out what it really meant to be free, to be landowners, and to start a whole new destiny for themselves as free people. So, and it's about black women who were very popular during that time. 1890s with owning land and finding properties and building a new life. So I would suggest that if you want to see a really good, solid, wonderful theatrical piece with some depth, come see Flying West. We open this Saturday night. We have a couple of previews, one tonight and tomorrow night, and then we open on Saturday night.
Okay, great. And you're working on other things?
Yeah, we're
American
getting ready
Dream?
to do a commemoration of Dr. Martin Luther King, January 16th at the Sarasota Opera House. And so that is just keeping the dream, the message alive. You know, Dr. King did so much with showing us the importance of a dream, and I know about that. And the value of education, and just the power of perseverance, of sticking with your dream and your aspiration. And the message must continue to live because that is the hope of tomorrow.
Absolutely.
We're still working on how to get along with each other in this world, so, and then this nation. So I'm very happy about that. It's a wonderful program, big gospel chorus. We have Reverend Charles McKenzie that does excerpts from Dr. King's speeches. If you close your eyes, you'll think Dr. King was in the room. So I'm very excited about that as well.
Now, is this a show that you've presented before? Because I remember hearing.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have done this. We didn't do it because of the pandemic a
Right.
couple of years, but
Okay.
we're back live.
Right.
We
Yay.
streamed it a year or so ago, but this is live and in person at the Sarasota Opera House. And it's a wonderful, wonderful program, wonderful singing, dance, and like I said, commemoration of his speeches. And then we do Dream Girls, which is somewhat
That's so fun.
like the Motown story.
Right.
It follows these three girls from a neighborhood talent show to superstardom and pretty much kind of mimic the journey of the Supremes. And so I'm directing that show. I'm very excited about. We've done Dream Girls, I think, 2 times in our history.
I've seen it.
But it's
once
been a
before. It's
while
fab.
since
Yeah.
we've done it, over 10 years. And so very excited about bringing it back.
Yeah, it's a great
And
show.
we may have a special program with the Tony Award winning, Grammy Award winning Jennifer Holliday coming to visit during the time we're doing the show. I'm really excited about that. Yeah, that's we've been on the phone talking about her coming in, sing the show, and doing a special program for us.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would be.
Yes, you're going to have to keep us informed on that.
Maybe I'll come back
Newsroom.
on and talk
Yeah.
about what we're doing with her once we
Okay.
get it all settled and etched out.
All right.
But wonderful time at the theater. 23 years, amazing, amazing things. We made it through the pandemic, not having to lay off anyone, and we survived because many theaters closed their doors like forever and went out of business. But because of this beautiful city we live in and the people who truly, passionately believe in the arts, we are troopers and have survived the worst of times. And I hope that is behind us,
Yes.
never to unveil its face again.
I know, but you're such a strong person, and drives this whole team that you have, and the
still-
community is so, as you said, we love the West Coast Black Theater Troupe.
It's just so amazing, to start off with a dream or a mission that you think is important to you and thought at one time it would only be important to me. To stand in the lobby of the theater and have Sarasota at large just embrace me and say,
Absolutely.
thank you for giving us this gift. Thank you for bringing this to us. It's a wonderful, rewarding, beautiful thing. And so I feel fortunate to be a part of our rich cultural community and be so well loved
Well,
and
to me,
liked.
you're an off-Broadway in Sarasota. I mean,
Thank
an
you.
on Broadway, but in Sarasota, I
Yes.
guess is what I'm trying to say. Before we close, I did want to ask you about your students and how you have a program that gets them involved.
Stage of Discovery, which is a 5-week, Monday through Friday program during the summers. We usually start mid-June and go through late July. And they come to learn singing, dance, and acting, 13 to 18. That's the ages that we work with. And they do a phenomenal showcase. I told them, you need to put the ages in these programs because these kids are so spectacular. People think they're going to be our seasoned, that they're our seasoned artists.
Wow.
But that's how we started.
Okay.
23 years ago, me as a school teacher, teaching drama with a bunch of teenagers. And I was so very diligent about making sure we have a training program for young people. And I'm so proud of our stage of discovery. We also have Jazz Links, which goes into the high schools as well. And we take entertaining education into the school system.
That's great.
Black history stuff
them.
that they may not study in their books,
Yep.
but we take it in an entertaining way. So
And
a lot
may
going
inspire them to,
Yes.
be more involved.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Stories that need to be told.
There you
Yes.
go. Anything before we close? We need your website where they can get all this information because there's
Yes,
so much.
our website is West Coast, one word, blacktheater.org. Box office is 941-366-1505. So call and get these wonderful tickets. We are still the hottest ticket in.
Okay, I know. Thank you, sir. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Always, always. Thank you.
Up next on Suncoast FYI, Jillian Lewis from the Florida Studio Theater's production of Something Rotten. So don't go anywhere. Located in the heart of downtown Sarasota, Florida Studio Theater has been offering high-quality stage productions on the Suncoast since 1973. Well, that's amazing. Jillian Lewis, a cast member of the ongoing production of Something Rotten at the Florida Studio Theater, will share some of those rotten details. How tongue-in-cheeky is that, right? Okay, so Something Rotten. It's been nominated for how many? 10 Tony Awards?
Many.
Okay,
Yes,
all right.
lots.
So obviously, yes, tongue-in-cheeky, but tell our viewers what this show's about, Jillian.
So Something Rotten is set in Elizabethan England. It is about the Bottom brothers, Nick and Nigel Bottom, who are desperate to write a hit show. So Nick goes to see a local soothsayer to foretell what will be the next big thing in theater.
Okay.
And gets these messages back, but they become a little scrambled, which will become a plot point as well.
Okay, and you play his wife,
I play
Bea.
Nick's wife, Bea. She's
Okay.
very devoted to her husband, and she's just trying to do anything she can to roll up her sleeves and absolutely help make all her
Okay,
dreams
so
come true.
how does that move the show's story along?
She, without giving anything away, she goes on her own journey to try to help Nick achieve his dreams and to make their dreams come true.
Right. So it's quite a large production. I mean, there's cast and costume changes, and
Yes.
what's that like, putting on a production like that here?
It's so much fun. There are, I think, something like 80 characters portrayed throughout the course of the show, and there's a 14-member ensemble. So
Wow.
this is, the costumes are by Tony Award winner Greg Barnes. They were used initially in the Broadway National Tour. So, I mean, there are many ensemble members who are changing costumes and characters 10 or 15 times, something like that. So it's really fun.
It's quite a production.
Quite a large
Okay.
production, yeah.
So it's going on now, and through when?
Through January 15th, yes. So 2 more weeks.
Do you have any afternoon performances? Or
We
just
do.
the
We
evening?
have Saturday, Sunday matinees this week, and I think a Saturday matinee next week as well.
Okay. Now, you mentioned what the premise is behind it. Do you have to be a Shakespearean scholar or a musical theater fan? I mean, who is this going to resonate with the show?
That's a great question. You do not need to be a Shakespeare aficionado or a musical theater fan to enjoy the show. The beauty of it is that it's written for everyone to enjoy, to make Shakespeare accessible and to make musical theater accessible. So there are little Easter eggs thrown in throughout for people who may know these references, but if you don't, you will still be having so much fun.
Okay, all right. Now, the show's been extended because I've seeing the ads for it. So what's that like? I mean, why do you think people are enjoying it so much?
I think it's been extended twice now. We were initially supposed to close last week. I think it's just a comedy. It's the madcap humor. It's super entertaining. There's wonderful choreography and dance numbers, and there is a heartfelt story at the center of the show's premise, and around it is just so much fun.
Wow.
So I think you're coming away with a wonderful story of family. You're hopefully humming a few tunes and having a lot of laughs in the meantime.
Okay, so speaking of humming a few tunes, can you hum us a little?
Well, Bee's main song in the show is called Right Hand Man, when the chorus of it is, "Let me be your right hand man." She's trying to get her husband to allow her to help him achieve their family's dreams.
Okay,
So
well,
there, I got a line. You're welcome.
Sorry to blindside you like that,
That's
but I
okay.
couldn't resist.
It's fun.
So, I asked you, you're leaving, you're not from here. The cast is all from New York as well?
I don't know if maybe the entire cast isn't from New York, but I would say 95% from New York. Yeah, would have all. And I think most of FST's casts have probably traveled from New York as well. They do their auditions there. I think there are some local as well. But.
So a little bit about you now, since you're an actress and you live in New York.
Yes.
And you're going home to perform or take a break or
Well,
another
we'll have,
show?
when I get back, we'll audition for something else. I don't have my spring quite set yet, so I don't want to announce anything quite yet. But I have performed on Broadway and off Broadway and concert halls and on TV and film and things like that.
Well, that's awesome. What have you done on Broadway?
I did a show called It Should Have Been You in 2016, which was so much fun. Directed by David Hyde Pierce and Tyne Daly starred.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
Geez.
Yeah, it was really cool.
So you have quite an exciting life off the stage.
I would say
TV,
so. I would say so, and it's always fun to travel to new places. And I have been to FST previously. I've worked here before in Sarasota. The last time was 2017 with a show called Bert and Me. So it was a theater that I'm familiar with, but it's always nice to see a new place for a while. We've been here since October, so just get to immerse yourself in the local culture and have some fun at the theater.
Great, thanks. So we'll run the website across the bottom.
Awesome.
So people can find out when and where and how to get tickets and everything.
Yeah, it's floridastudiotheater.org, I think. So there you go.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Julian. I'm sorry I put you on the spot like that.
Oh, that's
but I
okay. It was
enjoyed
fun. I enjoyed it as well. It was funny.
All right. Thanks, dear.
Thank you for having me.
You're a good sport. We hope you enjoyed the show today, and thank you for joining us on Suncoast FYI. If you would like to promote your nonprofit or community event, we would love to hear from you, and this is a complimentary service. Please call our producer, Adam Huntley, at 941-361-4645 or email fyi@snnTV.com. To view previous episodes, go to snnTV.com and click on the What's On tab. I'm Nancy O'Neill, and we'll see you next week on Suncoast FYI.